Okay. So, as we know, tomorrow is Independence Day. But why do we celebrate Independence Day? What is the significance of Independence Day? And what is it? What significance does it have for us today? Okay. So as we know, Independence Day. So tomorrow is going to be the 77th Independence Day, and nearly for 200 years, the Britishers had control over India for 200 years, and India was oppressed by the Britishers, and our culture was changed, and many things had happened for those 200 years, 77 years. So in 1947, we got independence from the Britishers, and in these 200 years, many things changed. So people were oppressed, and the Britishers took away all our resources and many things like that. So the Independence Day we celebrate to signify and to show how important every day is, how when we got independence from them, and how we're allowed to express our culture every day. So every day is a blessing to us, because for these 200 years, our culture was changed, and people weren't allowed to express their thoughts and their feelings. So this is why we celebrate Independence Day. I'm sure you guys have heard this multiple times. So let me give a slightly different perspective to Independence Day. Before that, let's have a short quiz, okay? So I'm going to show you a picture of a person. So it's related to Independence Day. It's going to be a freedom fighter. So you see the picture of the person, and you raise your hand, and I'll call out your name, and you have to tell me who the freedom fighter is. No matter who you think it is, it's fine. Even I didn't know many of these people before, and I learned about them today. So this is a chance to learn. Don't shy away from thinking if you don't know the person. Okay. So I'll show the picture of the person, and guess the name of the person. Okay, this is the first picture. Does anyone know who this is? Shreyas.
Lal Bahadur Shastri.
Good job. This is Lal Bahadur Shastri. Okay, next. And you know who this is? Snigdha.
Is it Kittu Rani Chandama?
No, close, but no.
Rani Lakshmi Bhai.
Yeah, good job.
I get confused.
It's Rani Lakshmi Bhai. Okay, next. This one is, I think this is easy. Yes, Chita.
I'm not sure, but B.R. Ambedkar?
Not quite. Shreyas, you got a chance.
I don't know, but I guess.
Wait, can we get the chance to
Subhash.
someone else?
Okay.
No, it's fine. Go on. What are you saying?
I guess I don't know, but Subhash Chandra Bose.
Yeah, exactly. It's Subhash Chandra Bose. Good job. Okay, you guys are getting this easily. Okay, next one. Anyone know who this is? Someone who hasn't gotten a chance? Sneha, you already got a chance. Let's give it some. No one else knows? Megha, would you like to guess?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it Jawaharlal Nehru?
Not quite so. Anyone can guess, it's fine. Even if you don't know, just guess whoever you think it is. I'll give you a clue. There's a huge statue in Gujarat for this freedom fighter. He is known as the Iron Man of India. Okay, fine. Snigdha.
It's Sardar Patel.
Yeah, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Good job. Okay, this is the last one. Anyone wants to go? Nobody? You can guess whoever you think it is. Even if it's wrong, it's fine. We're all learning. Anyone? Tejas.
I'm not quite sure, but is it Bhagat Singh?
No. Bhagat Singh, he had the topi and he was a young fellow. This one is different. Anyone? Ritvika, Raghavi. Would you like to guess? Manya. Sure.
It's Lala Lajpat Rai.
Exactly, yeah. Good job. So exactly, these were some of the really famous freedom fighters. So they dedicated their whole lives so we can live happily now. So whatever we feel we can do now, and whatever freedom we have today, we owe to these people and many more, obviously, like Mahatma Gandhi and Subhash, and then Subhash Chandra Bose and Bhagat Singh. So the list is endless. The people who strive to dedicate their life for us today so we can be happy, the list is endless, and they helped us a lot. And whatever we owe, or whatever freedom we owe to them. So tomorrow is that's the significance of tomorrow. So we dedicate our whole that day to them and thank them and show our gratitude for them. And that's why we hoist a flag, because that's the importance of what we have today here. Okay, now that you've all heard of why we celebrate Independence Day and all of this before, right? But sometimes, even though we have freedom from the Britishers, sometimes we feel like we're not exactly free. Sometimes we think we can't talk to others like how we want to. Like you want to tell something to someone else, but you don't feel like you feel like you can't exactly express it however you want to. So sometimes our own mind, we don't have freedom for our own mind. It's like a jail in our own mind. So the people today sorry, yeah, who gives us freedom today? What freedom do we get from our own mind? So sometimes we feel like we're constricted in a small box and we're not allowed to do whatever we want. Like sometimes I don't want to study the whole day, but I'm forced to because I have an exam tomorrow, or I have a test tomorrow, and I don't want to do it, but I still do it. So I don't have freedom, even though I we say we have freedom from the Britishers. Sometimes my own mind makes me feel like I don't have freedom. So the people today who are fighting for our freedom today, these are some of the people who I think of who gives our freedom from our own mind. So at the top you can see Vivekananda, Shri Krishna, Ramakrishna, and obviously Prabhuji, who we all know. So these are the people who give us freedom from our own mind. And whenever we feel like we can't say what we think, these people, they teach us, these great people, they teach us what we truly are and who we really are. So that's what the Bhagavad Gita is. So it teaches us who we really are, and it gives us freedom from our own mind. So even though we feel like we don't have freedom in our own mind, these people are our freedom fighters for today, and they help us to get what we want and to really express ourselves. So this is how we can think of Independence Day in another way. So you might think that Independence Day was done long back ago, 77 years ago, but it's still applicable today. We're not necessarily free all the time. So think about it tomorrow think about tomorrow when you think independence, think about independence even in your mind, and think about what we learn in the Bhagavad Gita shlokas and how this is applicable in our own life and in our own everyday day-to-day situations, and see how we can have freedom in every action we do and in every word we speak. See how we can have freedom not only from the Britishers but from our own mind. So this is how we can apply this and apply what we learn in these shlokas and these classes every day. So yeah, that's all I had to share. Anyone has any questions or anything they want to share, please go on.
So what I understood here is that Aditya was talking about a lot of freedom fighters who struggled to make our lives better from the British. So that's what I learned.
Do you agree with what Aditya was saying? That sometimes
Yeah, I do.
we do not have independence in our own mind. We feel like we are jailed.
No, not that. It's only just what I understood.
Okay.
Yeah, Megha, please share.
I understood that just like freedom fighters who fought for the country and made us free from the world, like from the British. The Prabhuji and Lord Krishna and all such people have made us free from our mind and from the materialistic world.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you, Megha. Snigdha.
Yeah, so what I understood is that the freedom fighters you just showed are the people, they are the famous freedom fighters who have gave their life to the country, like who sacrificed their life for the country, so we all could get freedom. Unlike them, there are many other freedom fighters who have gave their life to, they sacrifice their life to get to make everyone get freedom. So, uh, according to you, the people who make your mind get freedom are like Krishna, Prabhuji, Vivekananda, and etc. This is what I understood.
Right. Not only according to me, what do you think? Do you have anything to add, or do you agree with disagree?
I think Prabhuji and Buddha and Krishna.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
What about them?
like a Buddha is always peaceful and happy. There's nothing which interferes him. He never gets sad. He's always peaceful. He never gets angry. And
Yeah.
about Krishna, he's an enlightened one. He is he's also peaceful, and he's always happy, and he gives advice to people like if they're struggling in something. And Prabhuji, because like he te- he also teaches us how to be peaceful, and he teaches us a lot of shlokas which will help us to learn.
Right.
And yeah,
So they give freedom in each of these aspects, like peacefulness in Buddha and Shokas. Okay, right. Yeah. Good job. Thank you, Snigdha. Shares.
I understood like the freedom fighters like Mahatma Gandhi, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, etc., etc.
Yeah.
They fought for the country for us to get freedom. But when we got freedom, we were like, yes, nice. Now I got freedom. Now I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
But actually, from inside our body, we don't get freedom that properly. For getting that freedom, we need peacefulness, happy, and etc. And some people like Lord Krishna, Buddha, Prabhuji, they help us to get that freedom from our mind. Some people don't get, and they get very angry sometimes. Like, no, they get angry that we don't get freedom, others got like that. But they actually have the freedom. They just can't realize it. They have to get it.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you, Shares.
Yeah.
Kirtana.
It's our thoughts which don't make us feel we have freedom. So when we overcome from those thoughts, or if we overcome with like the thoughts, then we'll feel the freedom. That is basically we have to overcome the feelings within us. So only then will we have independence. Prabhuji, Ramana Maharshi, and Ramakrishna Paramahamsa Krishna, and all, like we should follow them so that we achieve independence from within ourselves.
Exactly. So not only from outside, but even inside the freedom. True. Thank you, Kirtana. Namit.
So what all of us know is that on Independence Day, it's the day in which we got independence, and a lot of freedom fighters fought. But still, we feel there's no freedom. We are not free to do at this age, at the child age. We are not. Always free to do anything we want. So we need to overcome that, then it'll also, then even we'll become free. So all Indian festivals have something connected to us. So, for example, Ugadi, when we eat that The neem and the jaggery, it means that there's something sour and something sweet. The same way, when Independence Day has something like that freedom. It connects with us. It for normal people or who don't know about this, it's just like the day when we got independence. It's 77 years. 77 years since we got independence, and it's because of all great freedom fighters. That is true, but we also need to achieve our freedom. When we got independence, we were not independent like in everything because British had looted us. So it's not only about having physical independence, but also mentally we should be independent.
Exactly.
If India wasn't mentally independent, it would be the same like how it was 77 years ago.
Exactly. So physical independence, if we don't have mental independence, it's the same as having not physical independence, right? Yeah. Thank you, Ramya.
Thank you.
Yes, Chita.
I just wanted to add that there's also a slogan related to this as thousand laid down their lives so that our country breathe this day. So I think that we should all respect this Independence Day really so much, because we can finally breathe and do whatever we want. So like I just wanted to add that.
Yeah. Very true. Really, really applicable slogan. Thank you, Yashita. Snigdha?
Yeah. Yeah, so I wanted to add one more point. So basically, there are some people who think that um, now I have freedom. So why do I need to do all these festivals? Because I already got my freedom. I don't need all these festivals. They think like that, but they should realize that what the freedom fighters have done to us. They have given us freedom, so we should show our respect to them. They should realize that, and they
Yeah.
should feel bad for them, that how they sacrificed their life for the country. So
Not 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 necessarily feel bad for them, but respect them and appreciate
yeah,
their efforts, right? Yeah.
so we should realize that they sacrificed their life for our sake, so we don't be ruled by British even now. If they did not fight for us, then we would have been ruled by British even now.
Exactly. Thank you, Snigdha. Raghavi?
Yeah, so I understood that although we are free physically from the British, we might also, like some people tend to be confined to some of their thoughts and emotions, such as self-doubt or like uh, you can say hesitation, which does not allow them to fully like achieve their potential or enjoy a few things. So I think we should overcome that, and in my opinion, I also feel restricted to my repetitive regime routine.
Right. So what do you mean by repetitive regime?
It's basically my timetable. Mostly, coming back from school, it's so tiring. So I
Yeah,
would like to have a break from that mostly.
yeah, true. Thank you, Raghavi. True.
Okay.
Amanya.
So I would like to start with a question. Not about our independence, but then in the first place, why did we lose our independence to the Britishers? So there was a person the Britishers sent to India. His name is Robert Clive, if I'm not wrong. So Robert Clive was sent to India to, or Macaulay. The name is not important, but what is important is like what he did coming to India. So when he was sent to India, the reason was to find out how India could be colonized. Colonized is basically to kind of rule India, to take control of India. So Robert Clive went back to British after he went through India for some years. He went back to British and he told them that it is impossible to colonize India. There is one thing that is protecting India, and if that exists, you just forget about India. So we need to first destroy that one thing. Now, I want at least three of you to guess what that thing could be. What was that thing that the Britishers wanted to destroy, and only through that would they be able to enter India? Yes, Shreyas.
I don't know, but can it be unity?
Unity. Okay, really good. Megha.
I had the same thing to say. Unity.
Very nice. Snigdha.
Is it the rich heritage?
Superb. Yashchita.
I think the kingdoms, if they break down the kingdoms, so they can rule instead of the kings, or the culture.
Excellent. Tejas.
The overall wealth and prosperity of the country.
Very nice. So the things that come to our mind usually, what do you need to destroy some country, or to take over it? Maybe money, maybe the unity, maybe the education, maybe the military, and all of these things. But then something that's really different from all of this is what he came up with. That is our education system. That is our Gurukul system, and the things that they taught in our Gurukul system. That was something he said we need to destroy first to be able to rule over India. And that is what they did. They snatched away our education system, which was the best at that time. But now, fortunately, that we are independent, I'm sure each one of us will take little steps to be able to bring back that. And one of the steps is what we are doing in the Gita class, where we are one very interesting part of the Gita class is the why, which is something that we had in the Gurukul system. Many a times you might have seen in many cultures and traditions, it's wrong to ask why. You just need to do what the elders say. But then in a Sanatana Dharma, it was always encouraged to ask questions, ask why, because they believed that you need to know the reason. And when you know the reason, you do it more efficiently, much better. That was one really important thing I wanted to share with you all. And because all of us were talking so much about being mentally bound and not being able to enjoy the freedom, I wanted to share this picture, or the story behind this picture. So you might know that when elephants are really young, they tie them to a stick, as you can see in this picture, which doesn't allow the elephants to move far. But then, even when the elephants grow to this extent, as you can see in the picture, they're still bound to the stick. Isn't it funny? Because the elephant doesn't even have to put 1/100th of its power to just get that stick out of there and move as per its needs. But then its mind believes that it's bound. The elephant's mind believes that the stick is stopping it. The stick is blocking my freedom. And this is something that all of us have in our mind. Though it's been 77 years, we still have that colonial hangover. We still have some inferiority complex. But then happily, we are kind of getting over it. And how do you get over it? You get over it by realizing something that you forgot. That is a rich culture and heritage. How rich our history was, and only when you realize that, do you realize that now you're not bound to any of it, and at that moment when you realize it, are you actually free from everything? So finally, in the end of all my me sharing my understanding, I want to recite a poem which is titled The Struggle. There was a time when we weren't free to do what we want or what we need. Our own decisions were not taken into account. The Britishers had done everything to make us drown. Then came the people who put up a fight for all that we owned and our nation's right. Bhagat Singh, Mahatma Gandhi, Chandrasekhar Azad, Subhash Chandra Bose. All these are the names we sure will remember, the ones who cooled India's ember. With all the colorful culture, they gave India a beautiful structure. They were the brave warriors who fought like real heroes, got India its independence with their wit and wisdom. Without the darkness, light has no purpose. Without our soldiers, India's hazardous. But how far does each one of us go to continue what they started and to honor what they did? There should not be one day, the only day to remember that everything they did was brave, even if it led them to their grave. Thank you so much, everyone, and also for sharing the beautiful understandings.
Thank you for that wonderful poem, Manya. Very nice. Each one of you have shared such wonderfully. So I also feel inspired to share something. So here is a very famous poem. Some of you may know it. If you've not, today is the time to come to know about it. This is a poem by none other than Sri Rabindranath Tagore. So this goes into the inner freedom that all of you spoke so well. Who would like to recite this poem? Okay, so many hands have went up. So may I request Kirtana to say this poem?
Vijayji, I raised my hand.
Yeah, I'll give you the chance, Snigdha.
Yes, Vijayji.
Yeah.
Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arm towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not cast its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever widening thought and action. Into that heaven of freedom, my father, let my country awake.
Wonderful.
Actually, Vijayji, I had the same poem in my last year.
Oh,
English.
very nice.
So basically, it means that it's basically our thoughts which break our mind into narrow domestic walls. Like we construct walls in our mind which make us not tell the truth, even though we have the truth inside us, and which make us like not like tell the truth and don't give the correct reason, even though we have everything inside us. So basically, it's the thoughts which make us construct the walls. I think the meaning.
Excellent. And from the thought emerges the action. So action also then becomes very narrow. Snigdha, would you like to share your view?
So basically, what I understood is that when people they really want to say the truth, but they have the full truth in their like mind, and they really want to say it, but something stops them from expressing what they really want to say. Like if they want to say, if they want to confess something, something in their mind is stopping them.
What
So
do you
they
think
can't.
it might be?
I'm not sure, but there will be something like for people. I'm not sure about other people, but something will be stopping them from telling the truth and telling the exact truth. They will only say a little bit of it, they won't say the full thing of it. Because
Okay, let me ask this simple question. All of you will know the answer, and through that you can find out.
Okay.
So which is lighter on the mind? Telling a lie or telling a truth?
Truth.
Why so?
Because if you tell the truth, your life will be easy and you'll not be like you'll not be fearing to anything, and you'll not be sad and all those things.
Okay. Tejas, what is your view?
About the question you asked, actually, if you lie, then you'll have to go through the pain of like supposing if you make a lie, someone will have a doubt. They'll ask you another question. then if you tell the answer, it might lead to them finding out. So you have to lie again. So then there's a lot of pressure on the head if you lie. If you tell the truth, you don't have to worry.
Very nice. Very nice. Yes, Chita, what is that you wanted to share?
I didn't exactly get the question.
Okay. Who would like to explain the question in a different way?
Can I?
Yeah, is there anyone else?
It's
Okay, go ahead, Snigdha.
so, which is more easy? Is it the truth or is it the lie?
I think both of them are easy.
Both of them are easy. Okay, so that's why that is not the question.
Like basically, which is lighter? You told it in a different way. That's why I tried to tell in a different way. But actually, which is more lighter, the lie or the truth?
Which makes you feel free, Eschita. So, for example, if you tell a lie, does it make you feel free? Or is it when you tell a truth? Which is lighter for your mind? That is the
I
question.
think both of them, because sometimes lie may be good or bad, and even the truth.
Okay, but you heard Tejas, right? So do you agree with what he said? In how lie can, when you're told one lie, you may have to remember that lie, then you have to tell another lie, and you may also have the fear that what if somebody catches me? Do you see that? What Tejas explained?
Yeah, I really didn't think of that, so I choose truth itself.
Okay, very nice. Excellent. Great. Is there anyone else who likes to share on this either poem or the question? I also see Ritvika Maheshwari. I want to welcome Ritvika. Hariom Ritvika.
Yeah.
Really sorry we could not welcome you early.
No, it's okay.
Yeah. Is there something you would like to share, Ritvika, about you and also about what you've heard so far in the question?
I don't know. I guess everything's already been added.
Okay. Which grade you are in, Ritvika?
I'm in 8th grade.
8th grade, okay. And which school?
Vibgyor.
Okay. How did you come to know about this Gita Study Circle?
My mom told me.
Okay. All right. Hope you are liking what you are hearing today and what you are seeing today.
Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I saw Manya raise your hand. Is there something that you wanted to share, Manya?
Yes, about the poem. It's
Yeah, go ahead. Please.
about the poem. So yeah, because this poem was written before independence, Ravindranath Tagore had an image of this is how my country should look once it's independent. So he said that there's so many different things, and each and every word in this poem has so much depth and meaning to it. But then I'll just give a few points that I really liked. One is when he mentions nation, I'm sure he doesn't mention just as human beings, but also there's so many things that make a nation. Before that, I want to ask you, now when we think of the Britishers and what they did to us, we all despise them, right? But what if I tell you that someone could be despising us the same way? Someone whose freedom we've all snatched away, probably. Not only freedom, but maybe food, maybe just their dignity as well. If you're wondering about whom I'm talking about the animals, the insects, the other Indians, but then someone whom we don't really consider that much. So I think this Independence Day, we all should also remember that they too are our family, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, right? So we know though the nature is though this nature has given everything to all the living beings for themselves, but then through this time we human beings have kind of acquired most of it, and we've been misusing it a lot, and we're exploiting the resources. But now you must have noticed with many stray dogs, they don't have food, they're starving. The birds, they don't have freedom, they're all caged. So now I don't request you to do something in particular, go help them out. But I'm only going to request you to think about what they might be thinking about you, to think about what is their perception of independence. Just like how here Rabindranath Tagore says that we have not broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls. Does he only mean the walls of, let's say, how money divides us, of how political power divides us, or maybe even these boundaries that we've created ourselves between us and the animals? So just keep thinking around these lines.
Excellent. What we seek for ourselves, we should first offer it to others. Then only we receive that. If I want respect, first I should give respect. If I want love, I should first give love. If I want freedom, I should first see how I can give freedom to others, whoever that may be. Excellent. Very nice. Snigdha, you wanted to say something more?
So, related to what Manya said, she basically, like, when I grew up, I really wanted to do this. Like, I really wanted to go tell the government that you should adopt all the stray dogs and take care of them, because I really love dogs. I can't bear to see them in the streets and all stuff. I want to feed them, but my parents don't let me because they're dirty and all the stuff, and I feel really bad for them.
Continue to care for them in your own ways, Snigdha. And
Okay.
there are many organizations that you can be part of. You can go into how to help them in many different ways.
Yes,
Depending
Vijayji,
upon, yeah.
Yes, Vijayji, my mom told that you can become a dog caretaker. You can take a lot of dogs and you can take care of them. You can feed them. You can play with them. You
You
can
can
do
become
anything.
a veterinary doctor. You can help them in pain. So there are many different ways.
Yes,
Right
Vijayji.
now, see what is that you can do in and around you, but continue to look at how you can be of better help by studying well and also focusing on what may be a better way to help. Yeah, so keep thinking about it and keep looking at that.
Okay, Vijayji.
Very nice, Nidha. Thank you.
Thank you, Vijayji.
Tejas?
Yeah, actually, I saw one really sad thing in a pet shop. So, first of all, they had a lot of birds in these cages, and they even had one or two rabbits in these cages. They couldn't do anything. They're being so suffocated inside. But the saddest part is that they had one dog inside one of the cages, same size as the ones with the birds. It can barely move and stretch its legs. So, like, I want someone to adopt it so it doesn't have to stay in that cage any longer.
True. So one thing that all of us can do all the time is like how we say in the prayer. What is that we say? We say, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha. May all beings be happy, healthy, and peaceful. That prayer you can always have whenever you see something like that. So the prayer also has its own power. Thank you, Tejas. All right. Is there anything else anybody wants to share? Otherwise, I will stop sharing on this. Okay. I'll stop the sharing. And thank you all for such a lovely and wonderful discussion. Over to Namit.